What's up, it's you? For today's video, we have a full pseudo fighting type Pokemon team. This video is all about Pokemon that could be a fighting type that share characteristics, moves, or background, and I feel they could fit onto this team. There was actually quite a few Pokemon I could come up with, so let me know if you agree with what I picked, or maybe I missed something out in the comment section below. If you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live streams, twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. The link is in the description of the video. Now, today I've got 3 battles, and these are some really top quality battles, to say the least. Now, the first one here, this one, the Wycombe, was against Pseudo. I'm not really sure how to say that name, but it was a very interesting battle, right? Once again, if you do battle me and on the Wycombe or something like that, and if you ever obviously come across me in this video, let me know in the comment section too. Also like to know if I've battled someone in one of my videos. Okay, so I've got a special Lopunny here. Now, Lopunny's Mega Evolution is normal fighting, right? So obviously I felt like that could definitely fit the mold for normal fighting, right? Now, I wanted to make an individual typing for every one of these Pokemon, right? So I didn't want to double up on any typings, right? So bear that one in mind before you leave a comment. Now, we're going to bring in the Pinsir, obviously expecting the high jump kick. It still does a lot of damage there with Life Orb and Libera, but I was able to live there, which was, the best possible outcome. Now I'm going to be swapping into Darmanitan because I'm expecting a Pyro Ball, right? So I had to literally swap into 3 Pokemon to get a good or a decent sort of matchup against the Cinderace. So it was tough, right? Now, Pyro Ball is still going to hit me pretty hard here. I'm running a very bulky Darmanitan that would have done a lot more damage if I wasn't, right? This is a Body Press, Bulk Up, Rest, and Sleep Talk set. I put Darmanitan down as a good fire and fighting Pokemon. It learns a lot of fighting type moves, and also looks like it could be a fighting type Pokemon too, right? I actually thought when I first seen it, oh, that's definitely going to be fire and fighting, right? So we're going to go for a Bulk Up Body Press set here. I've got Chester Berry as the item. I've got Max Health and Max Special Defense. I really want to make use of fighting a type move, and I thought Body Press Darmanitan could be really fun, right? And unsuspecting. Now, also put Pinsir on the team too as a bug and fighting, because if you look at Pinsir's fighting type moves, right, it learns so many. It learns more fighting type moves than bug type moves, which is amazing. So I definitely feel that's why I put Pinsir on the team as a bug and fighting too, right? Basically like Heracross, So here comes a Max Airstream from the Cinderace. It's not super effective, and I'm going to be able to live that one. Only on a little bit of health there. Now, I didn't expect them to Dynamax so early on in the game. I thought they may take another bite at going for maybe a high jump kick there. So I went for another bulk up. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to live the next attack here, and they're going to freely be able to go for another Airstream. I could have Dynamax there to stall out another turn, but there's really no point because I wouldn't have been able to do much with Darmanitan there. So I just had to feint Darmanitan, and then hopefully I could bring something in to take this out right. So a very difficult start to the battle. My opponent was definitely running a very competitive team here, right? So next Pokemon I got is Bravery. Definitely a good candidate for flying and fighting. I was going to actually put Staraptor on this team, but I couldn't, right? So we've got Steel Wing, Close Combat, and we've got Sky Attack as well, and Roost. So I'm going to be going for a Dynamax Bravery here. Now, the item I got on this one is Power Herb, and I've got Max Speed and Max Attack. And I ran on this one, we got Adamant Nature on this one, not Jolly, because I wanted a little bit more base power, right? So firstly I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can go for a Max Guard here on Roost, and then I could go for a Max Airstream, right? So I decided to do that. That way at least stall out, the last turn of the G-Max there. So they went for the G-Max Scum move, and obviously it's not going to hit me because we've got the Max Guard up there, which is good. So they're finally out of their G-Max there. So I thought I might be able to come into this game if I can take this out, and I might be able to set up some Max Knuckles with the Close Combat, but it definitely wasn't a sure thing, right? So here comes the Pyro Ball. Does a lot of damage there with the Life Orb and obviously Stab as well, and Max Airstream is going to be enough to take Cinderace out, so that's good. That's going to give me a +1 in speed as well, so give me some good speed, and I've got some good offense at the same time there. Bravery's are pretty nice there. So that's one Pokemon down, finally. It took me a while. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here is Sylveon. So I've got Steel Wing on this set, so I thought, well, I can use that. Is it going to take it out in one shot? I don't know, but it definitely is going to do a lot of damage there, right? And it would be unsuspecting for me to have that move. So go for the Max Steel Spike here. Also, it's going to give me a +1 in defense too. Sylveon just hangs on the tiniest little bit of health there, and it can go for any sort of move like like Moonblast, Hyper Voice, whatever. And I'm actually going to be able to live that just due to the Dynamax Bulk, right, which is very good. Now, I don't want to go for any other move here. I don't want to go for my Sky Attack and use up my Power. so I had to risk the Steel Wing there. Thank goodness it didn't miss, and Sylveon is going to go down. So I'm back into this game, people. It's pretty good right now. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here is the Trevenant. It's like, okay, great. I can go for a Flying type move. Maybe they're going to try and, maybe they feel that I've got Brave Bird, right? They want to get rid of this Bravery, and I'll go down to recall damage, right? So I'm going to be outspeeding them, obviously, and going for the Sky Attack here. Now, I was hoping that Sky Attack wouldn't miss. That's the only thing I was a little bit worried about here. So Power Whip's going to kick in there. Sky Attack is not going to miss. And then when it hit right, it hit the Trevenant. I'm like, wait a second. It's a Zoroark. They disguise it as the Zoroark. So I was like, okay, that's not all that bad there. That's fine. So Zoroark is going to be going down. And I didn't go down to recall or anything. So things are going pretty good at the moment. Now, the next Pokemon, I thought there's a Dragonite there for a second there. It's like Dragon... Well, I'm not sure what that even means. Dragon legit or something like that? I don't know. So I can go for a Steel Wing here. I've got +1 in speed. It obviously is not going to take it out, but it does fair damage to Dragapult, and it's going to be a physical set, as I know, go for the Dragon Darts here. So that's cool. Bravi did a very, very good job there getting me back into the game, right? So nice. I've lost 2 Pokemon, and they've lost 3. So I still have got the upper hand right now. Into Lopunny now. We've got Aurus Field, Hyper Beam, Shadow Ball, and Blizzard here. Now, I was thinking about going for Shadow Ball, and I was like, wait, I could go for Blizzard. Blizzard will definitely take it out. Shadow Ball should just be enough, right? I've got the item as choice specs, and I've got max speed, and I've got max special attack, Timid Nature. So I went for the Dragon Darts. I didn't take it very well, but it doesn't matter. All I wanted to do was pretty much live the attack, and Dragapult is going to be going down there. So that's very, very good. Now, I am locked into Shadow Ball here, so I'm going to have to go for that. There's probably not a lot of point swapping at this stage. And then they brought in a Ponytail. I was like, what? I was like, that's an interesting Pokemon to run, especially when you come across someone randomly on the Wycon run. So, okay, well, Shadow Ball's super effective. Let's go for that. This is going to drop the Ponytail in one shot. Let's like a crazy Everlight set. And it lived on 1 health with the Focus Sash, the merch available. And you know what? After that, I was worried about that nickname, right? I was really worried about that nickname. So I'm thinking, I hope this doesn't have Horn Drill. And it did have Horn Drill. And on top of that, it landed. What? So Lopunny is going to go down there to a Horn Drill. Very nice here to my opponent. Very, very good. My next Pokemon to come in here is my Pinsir. This is a special Pinsir. I will explain why I put Pinsir on this team. Same as Heracross, basically. So I've got Struggle Bug round with Focus Energy and Focus Mist. I've got the Throat Spray as the item. Max Speed and Max Special Attack. Pinsir's Special Attack is extraordinarily limited, right? So even with a +1 in Special Attack, it does not hit hard. And Struggle Bug is the best bug stab that it's got, right? Now, that is the last Pokemon here is the Trevenant. So, okay, Trevenant. I can't use Focus Mist. All I can do is go for a Focus Energy here and go for a crit on Struggle Bug. That's the best I can really do right now. Now, Trevenant, instead of attacking me, I thought it might go for a Will-O-Wisp. It went for a Confuse Ray instead. So, all right, well, this is going to give me a chance to at least attack the Trevenant. Of course, it's not going to do a lot of damage. It might be a Harvest, Citrus Berry set too. But I didn't even get to see that because I'm going to hit myself in Confusion Ray. Now, Trevenant is going to go for a Trick Room here. So, it's got the Trick Room and it's got Confuse Ray. So, it's going to have something like Horn Leech or Shadow Claw or Phantom Force. So, it's going to go for Phantom Force. I'm like, all right. Will this be enough to take me out here? I think it will, and obviously I'm going to hit myself in Confusion again. So it's definitely going to be enough, to take my Pinsir out. So that was a little bit unlucky there, but I mean, Pinsir wouldn't have done amazing amounts of damage. Let's say it critted with Struggle Bug. Wow, I don't even know if it would have done a quarter health to Trevenant. Trevenant's pretty bulky too. Now, next Pokemon, I had to bring this in. I felt Katana could be a great steel fighting Pokemon. We got Sacred Sword, Cut on your Pimplite Shadow, Razor Leaf, and Sword Dance. Now, I've got the item here as the Scope Lens, right? Now, Razor Leaf already has a good chance of critting. It's got 1 stage, and I've got the Scope Lens on top of that. So with that combination, I've got a very, very good chance of critting the opponent. Now, under the Trick Room, it is going to outspeed me, and it is going to confuse me. So I thought, okay, well, I can't go Razor Leaf straight up. It's not going to be enough to take a Trevenant out. No way. So I've got to go for a Sword Dance, right? So I've got 1 Sword Dance up, which is very, very good now. I can possibly go for another one here, or I could go for a Razor Leaf. Now, Razor Leaf only has 55 base power, so I'm going to need to crit it right. Now, Trevenant is going to go for a Phantom Force there. I thought it might go for another move, but it's not. I'm going to snap out Confusion and go for a Razor Leaf, and obviously it's going to miss right there. So the Trick Room has now worn out. I can go for yet another Sword Dance, so I've got +4 in attack. Usually, once you get +4 in attack on a Katana, it's game, but at this stage, I'm completely wall run. So Phantom Force doesn't really do too much to me. It's about... I'd say it could even be a 4-hit KO here if they get min damage. Go for the Razor Leaf, and it does over half health, but it doesn't crit. I needed the crit to take it out there. Man, that sucks. So Trevor is going to be allowed to set up the Trick Room again, and now it's going to go for a Confused Ray. So it's like, okay, let's think for a second. It can't take me out with one Phantom Force. It's going to need to take me out with Confusion Ray. So I still got a chance, and then I hit myself with Confusion and almost take myself out. Oh, man, now Trevor can go for the Phantom Force. I can't do anything about it at all because obviously it's invulnerable this turn, and it can take me out with that, right? And I've only got one more Pokemon, so Ray's Leap, of course, I don't get hit myself in Confusion this time, and it's going to take me out there. So I've only got one more Pokemon left there. Very lucky there with those Confusions, definitely on Katana. Now, I've got one last Pokemon, and it is Electivire. Also, like, Electivire could definitely be an electric and fighting Pokemon, and it gets so many punch moves, too. So we're going to be running an Expert Pelt, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Dynamic Punch, Electivire, Jolly Nature, and Max Attack here. So firstly, I knew they were going to do it. I could see what their strategy was. They're going to go for Confused Ray, right? So instead of having Will-O-Wisp, they got Confused Ray. So they're taking advantage of, you know, physical attackers, right? So I'm going to be going for an Ice Punch here, and thank goodness I did not hit myself, and Trevor is going to be going down there. So a very, very close match at the end there. I thought I may also go down to Confusion once again there, but man, that was close. Thank you for the battle, Pseudo. I don't know how to say that one. Okay, the second battle here, this one was also on the Wycombe. This is a battle against Sakura, and man, this was a very competitive team, so even more sweatier than the team that I versed before. But it made for some pretty interesting content right there. So we got a Tyranitar as the lead, and I've got my Electivire as the start. So like, you know what? I'm thinking about I might chance the Dynamic Punch here. I mean, if it connects, Tyranitar is going to go definitely bye-bye, right? And they may be inclined to stay in and go for Earthquake here too. So I thought about this for a long time. I was thinking, should I go? Or maybe I could go for Dynamax and give myself like a good advantage at the start. You know, or am I going to do that too early? Decided to go for Dynamic Punch in the end, and they swapped. It's like, okay, so Corsola's going to come in like, oh man, that sucks. So now I've revealed that I've got a Fighting type move. They probably thought I was going to go for like, I don't know, Cross Chop or something like that, I'd say, or Brick Break, right? Not too many people run the Dynamic Punch on their Electivire. So swapping my Electivire out right there, I know they're either going to go for like Strength Sap, Will-O-Wisp, something like that, or some sort of step up move. So they're going to go for Stealth Rock. I'm like, okay, that's fair. I could go for a Shadow Ball here. Whether they predict a special set or not, I'm not really sure, but they do have other Pokemon to swap into this. I can go for Shadow Ball. I believe Shadow Ball will probably be able to 2-hit KO on this Pokemon. I am Choice Specs, and it's super effective, right? And I could even opt to go for the Dynamax if I really wanted to. Now, the Corsola is going to be swapping out here, and Mandy Buzz is going to be coming in. So far, they've sort of predicted, I don't think they predicted the moves I was going to use. I think they more just predicted the type of moves I'm going to use. So I get a special defense drop there on the Mandy Buzz, which I thought, okay, their team is very, very stally, right? I've looked at the other Pokemon on the team. It's time to act right now. I'm going to do something unpredictable, right? I'm going to go for Dynamax Lopunny here, and I want to see if I can take that Mandy Buzz out with a Blizzard, right? Or a Max Hailstorm. Also, I can change the weather as well, so it's hail. So this could be a very disastrous play, or it could be very, very good. I wasn't sure, but when you're using memes and you're coming across, like when you're coming up against very competitive, very sweaty sort of teams like that, you need to go for sort of go for things that the opponent wouldn't expect, right? And sometimes that can give you the edge in a battle, right? Over something they don't predict, things like that, right? So going for the Max Hailstorm, it almost takes out Mandy Buzz. I definitely know they didn't expect that much damage there. They went for the foul play and got a lucky crit there. So like, okay, not all that bad, right? As I can see, it's got the Overcoat as the ability too, right? Now, I could go for a Max Hailstorm here. I could go for a Max Knuckle. I could go for anything right here. I don't want to go for a Max Strike in case the Corsola comes back into it. But I was like, oh, even if it does, I can go for that. So they swapped out their Mandy Buzz, which is interesting. They really want to keep their Pokemon alive, right? And Klefki is going to come in. So, like I said earlier on, they had a very, very bulky, stally-like team, right? They didn't have like when the team period was like, okay, this team's not going to do heaps and heaps of damage. Like, forget Tyranitar, right? For a minute. So I do very little damage there to the Klefki. So Klefki is obviously going to start setting up screens. Obviously, it's a typical sort of set there. So my special Bunnery Lopunny is causing him a lot of grief, right? So go for the Shadow Ball. It obviously doesn't do a lot of damage here, but in Dynamax, I'm able to drop at least a defense of the Pokemon there. So I might be able to swap in my Electivire here. Now, Klefki commonly runs Thunder Wave, right? So I thought, Electabuzz could be a good swap in here. They may try and go for a Thunder Wave. I mean, if they don't want to risk me having Limber or something like that, right? So now they're going to set up the Reflector. Like, okay, that's obvious. So they've got both the screens. That's normally what it has, right? Just a typical practice set that everyone's used, a million times in their life, right? So we're going to go for a Shadow Ball here. I tried to go for a Special Defense drop. I mean, I didn't have much to lose, right? And I was thinking, what does this Klefki actually have in terms of, attacking moves? Is it just got Foul Play, Flash Cannon, Draining Kiss, something like that, right? So I opted to go into the Electrify, right? And I thought, okay, hopefully they go for a Thunder Wave. And they didn't. They gave me a free Motor Drive. So obviously they didn't expect the Lopunny to have Limber there either. But regardless, I got a free Speed Boost, which is good on a Pokemon like Electivire, right? Now, they are within KO range here of a Fire Punch. I've got the Expert Belt here, so that's going to power up that damage too. So I'm like, let's go for that. Then they swapped out the Klefki. They do not want to lose any Pokemon to me at all. Like, I mean, the only good thing is that Lopunny, right, has put two very bulky Pokemon on low amounts health, right? So they're going to be right pickings for the later on in the game. If I can get there, that is. That's the thing. Because I am getting worn down a lot here, right, with Stealth Rocks and Constant Swapping. So obviously, of course, judging on all their other sets, we're just going to have the standard Everlight and Corsola here with Strength Sap and just complete stall, right? So I've got to find a way to get around this Pokemon, which is difficult when you're already running memes and there's screens on the field up already. So I thought, okay, let's go for Shadow Ball. I mean, Lopunny's role here is almost done. It's pretty much done its best work with a special set, right? And we got a special defense drop on Corsola, so Crystal. So, okay, that's great. Then they curse body me, so I'm locked in now to using Struggle unless I swap. So they've got Strength Sap and they've got Will-O-Wisp. So just the normal typical moves that it always has, right? Now at this stage, you're like, okay, I'm burned. They've seen my entire set, basically. I'm just going to go for Struggle, and I'm going to let Lopunny go, right? It's done its best work, and I could swap in a fresh Pokemon here, right? So they're just going to continue to spam using Strength Sap over and over again, hoping that I swap the next Pokemon in, or just hoping I swap a physical Pokemon in so they can stall me out for the rest of the game, right? So they're going to get the rest of their health back there, and Lopunny is going to be going down the next turn. I'm going to take myself out the Struggle. However, of course, all the swaps. It's like, okay, this is fine. Now what they're going to do, obviously they're looking at the time of their Reflect and Light screen, right? They know they're starting to run out there, obviously even with memes, I'm doing some pretty good damage to them, and obviously they're not expecting that, right? So they need to get those screens back up there. So I thought, okay, let's go into my Katana here. I might be able to get something going with Beast Boost. Even if they go for a Reflect, right, I've got a little advantage here of having Razor Leaf, and I doubt they'd expect me to have Razor Leaf as a critic move. So firstly, I knew they were going to try and go for the Thunder Wave, which I did. I was like, okay, that's fine. Katana is still a very, very fast Pokemon, right? So you don't want to underestimate its speed. And when when you look at their team, they're not really fast Pokemon, right? So I thought, that's either here or there. So the Reflect is going to wear off. I knew they were going to go for a Reflect straight away afterwards, right? Judging on the plays they already made before this, and judging on the... I know what sort of set they're going to be running, right? So we're going to be going for another Sword Dance here. So obviously I've got +4 attack now, and that's taken away by some of the Reflect. So their attacking move, after all, was Draining Kiss. They pretty much have no presence about them at all, except for a couple of screens and Draining Kiss. And I'm going to be going for a Sacred Sword here, and that is enough to take out the Klefki, and that is going to give me a +5 in attack. Essentially, with the Reflect up, I've got +3, but I'm still going to be hitting very, very hard. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is Corsola, and this is where it was a very, very important thing to have Razor Leaf and Scope Lens. It absolutely demolishes Corsola in a one-shot. I can guarantee they never, ever saw that one coming right there. And that's going to give me a further Beast Boost, and I am at a huge attack stat right now, even with a Reflect up. So now if they're stunned, I can see they've swapped Torrent in. They're going to get very, very desperate. They're going to have to go for a Dynamax soon to be able to live the damage that I'm dishing out to them. And I was thinking, okay, they're either going to Dynamax this or another Pokemon, and they're going to Dynamax their Tyranitar. So okay, even if I don't crit them with Sacred Sword, which obviously is a high chance because it doesn't have a crit chance to begin with, if I hit this Tyranitar with Sacred Sword, it is going down. Unless it's got something like a Troupple Berry or something like that, I'm going to be able to take the Tyranitar out. And I don't know if Tyranitar will be able to outspeed me. That's not exactly the fastest Pokemon. I outspeed the Tyranitar and it gets chopped in one shot. So bye-bye Tyranitar. And now they've lost their Dynamax advantage there. So when you look at the difference between my Lopunny and the Tyranitar, Lopunny actually did a lot in Dynamax, where Tyranitar was completely wasted, right? Now, here's the Mandibuzz that obviously, didn't come up out on the very good end from my Lopunny. It's going to be able to come in and outspeed me and take up my Katana. However, it is on a low amount of health for my Lopunny, right? And Katana got through some of the best Pokemon on their team, like the Stalling Cursola, and the Tyranitar, right? So we're going to go into Electivire now. I'm going to go for Ice Punch, and that is going to take Mandibuzz down there. So, like, I bet you they've got a Rocky Helmet, and they do have a Rocky Helmet. And however, that's another stalling Pokemon gone. So Cursola's gone, Mandibuzz is gone, Klefki's gone. Like, their options are starting to get really, really limited here. They're going to have to start doing some damage, right? And that's where I knew the Espeon would come in here, right? So Espeon's a very fast Pokemon. It's got some nice special attack. I'm obviously on a low amount of health, right, due to all the swap-ins I had to do with Stealth Rock and stuff like that. And Electivire is not going to be able to take that one, right? So my only other hope here is to be able to live this Psychic and take out the Espeon. So I've got Struggle Bug here. It's like, I don't think Struggle Bug is... There's no way I can take it out, but maybe I could get a special attack drop on Struggle Bug, right? They're going to go for a Psychic there. Unfortunately, my typing let me down there. Obviously, I was weak to Stealth Rock, so Pinsir is down. So things are starting to get pretty nasty for me as well there. I've got one last hope here. It's my Braviary. I am going to take some nasty Stealth Rock damage. However, Braviary's got a little bit of bulk to it, right? And Espeon's special attack is pretty high, but Braviary just hangs on there on 8 health, and I'm able to get off the Sky Attack here. I was like, please do not miss the Sky Attack, because this is my only way to take out the Espeon. One of the few, I fairly special attacking Pokemon on the team. One of the Pokemon that has like a bit of presence about it, right? And that is going to go down in one shot. That was such a good KO there, and such a good live from Braviary. Next and last Pokemon, another stalling Pokemon, which is Umbreon. Like, look at this. Umbreon, Klefki, Mandibuzz, and Cursola. Like, there's 4 stalling Pokemon right there. So close combat does a lot of damage. I didn't expect a KO there because Umbreon's quite bulky, and I'd say they're probably running at least max health and max defense, something like that. And they're going to take me out the snow. I'm like, okay, fine, that's all good, because I've got a great set to actually counter this Umbreon. Now, Umbreon commonly run Toxic, right? And they commonly run Wish, right? For, healing purposes, right? But this Darmanitan set can deal with that quite easily. First, I'm going to go for a Bulk, all right? Because I expected them to go for a Wish, and I believe that Body Press was not going to be enough damage to take it out, purely because my defense stat was not high enough, right? So instead of that, they're going to go for a Snarl. I was like, okay, maybe they don't have Wish on this set, or they thought, that I was just going to finish them off, right? So they're going to get some more leftovers recovery back there. So they're back to half health. So I thought, okay, let's go for Body Press. Let's see how much it's going to do, right? So Body Press doesn't do amazing damage like I sort of thought it would, and now they're going to go for the Toxic. So they're like, okay. Now, since the battle was almost over, we were getting very, very close to the 20 minutes, I did want to show my opponent, the Kersey, that I did have a way to get around their Umbreon too. I didn't want them going away from this battle thinking, oh, I would have won that battle because I would have won, with a Toxic stall. Like, I wanted to show them the rest of my set, right? Because a 20-minute timer does suck, right? If I didn't have rest right here, the Umbreon, if it had Wish, it may have been able to beat me there, but since it's a Rest Sleep Talk Chesterberry set, I was able to easily get around this Umbreon combination and go for the Body Press too. And even if they had Foul Play, I still would have been okay, because I'd be using my defense stat as well there, right? So thank you for the battle there. I think it was Sakura. That was a very, very strong team there. I had to pull all of my memes out of the woodwork to get around some of those really competitive sets and just stally Pokemon. Like, the Razor Leaf Katana was absolute clutch. Lopunny was every Pokemon did a good job there. I mean, Pinsir was a sandbag, but that's how it was, right? Sometimes you have to do that with memes. Okay, thank you for the battle there. Let's get on to the third and final battle. But there you go, people. That's how you beat a very competitive team there with memes. Now, the next Pokemon battle here was against Nitro, and they copied my trainer card, or they got it very close, right? Now, they had a theme team here. This was done on my Twitch chat, by the way, and let me see if you can guess what it is. The first Pokemon here is Palkia, so Pinsir versus Palkia. I was like, okay, this isn't the greatest matchup in the world here. I don't know how much damage I can really do with my Pinsir. Like, Pinsir doesn't do a lot, right? So we're going to start off with the Ancient Power. I was like, oh no, and it nearly takes my Pinsir out in one shot. I guess the only good thing about that is I didn't get one shot, but since I got outsped, I wasn't able to get an attack off against a Palkia. So like, okay, I'll use Pinsir later on. I'll see if it might be able to come in use, right? So going to Lopunny here, they're going to have a Dragon Breath set. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't get paralyzed here. That does well over half my health. So, okay, I have to go for Hyper Beam here. I'm going to go for the Hyper Beam Choice Specs on the Palkia, right? Hoping for some big, big damage. hoping. So Palkia, it takes pretty good damage from it. Palkia's got a pretty good amount of bulk to it, even on a sweeping set there, right? And it's going to be enough to take out my Lopunny or Dragon Breath, right? So it's a scummy Dragon Breath set. So it's Ancient Power, Dragon Breath, and obviously some, I'd say some other coverage moves, right? Now, next Pokemon is my Katana. I thought, well, I might be able to get this Razor Leaf Katana going again, right? And the next Pokemon to swap in is Palisand. So like, okay, this is a bad swap in for them because I'm going to go for a Grass-type move here. Razor Leaf crits, it almost takes it out there, but it doesn't. But then the Palisand, right, had a weakness policy on it. So if, let's say I didn't crit there, I still feel that Palisand would have been a 2-hit KO regardless. But, like, just for the memes, maybe try out Razor Leaf on Katana. You might be surprised with Scope Lens. A lot of people don't predict, like, you can get a good chance of getting a crit on its, most powerful move right there. The only thing about it is its accuracy. It can miss every now and then with 95% accuracy. But it was pretty fun, right? So here we go. They're going to have to Dynamax here because Katana's got a +1 in attack. And this is going to be Dynamax Pinsir. They also had a Pinsir on the team. Maybe you can guess the team by now. Maybe you can. This time I'm not giving you a clue, right? You've got to see if you can guess. I normally give a clue that I'm like, oh, I sort of pretty much gave it away right there. So I'm going to go for a Cut right here. It was really my only move to use against it, apart from Desperation Dynamaxing. And Cut misses. Why does Cut not have 100% actually? Like, why? It's a crap move. It literally does nothing. Why is it not even 100%? I'll still never know that, right? So going for Cut there. Cut was probably a 6-hit KO on the Pinsir. Dynamax and Pinsir's decent base defense, was more than enough to be able to sponge that attack, right? Even a crit wouldn't have been enough, right? So down goes my Katana there to the Pinsir. This Pinsir's got a lot of attack boost now and stat boost, right? And I've got to get rid of it, right? I've got to get rid of it real soon. And it's also got a Life Orb too, so it's doing a lot of damage. So I thought, okay, let's go into Bravery and let's go for the Sky Attack. Pinsir is going to outspeed and go for a Max Rockfall. I was like, uh-oh. Oh dear. So Bravery's going to get one-shotted by Stone Journey's cousin there. Nothing much I could have done there, man. Like, I got outspeed by Pinsir. This is looking really, really bad. Now, I've got a couple options here, right? But I couldn't resist. I really couldn't resist sending my Pinsir in against this Pinsir too. Now, that opposing Pinsir's, that was his last turn of Dynamax, right? So I thought, okay, I can go for a Struggle Bug here, and I want to see if I can get a critical hit. I don't even know if it's going to be enough to take it out, right? Still got a lot of health. So outspeeding, I'm not sure if that was a speed tile or not there. And Struggle Bug gets a crit. I did it, people. I did it. Pinsir did it. It finally got its crit on Struggle Bug. And now the opposing Pinsir is going to go for the X-Scissor. The animation looks really, really cool. That's probably one of the best X-Scissor animations ever. So we got the Life Orb damage and we got the Sandstorm damage on the Pinsir too. So Pinsir doesn't have much health back. I think this is a Hypercut of Pinsir too because I didn't see Mold Breaker come up. Or if I did, I definitely miss it. So going to the Electabuzz there, I'm going to go for Thunder Punch and Pinsir is going to be going down. I'm glad I had a faster Pokemon there because that was getting nasty. So bye-bye Pinsir. I'm going to take some minimal Sandstorm damage, but that's okay. Next Pokemon is Berserk. I was like, wait. I think I might go for Dynamic Punch here. I really, really want to go for it, and I want to see how much it can do. I'm pretty confident it'll take it out in one shot. The only thing about it is very risky, and Dynamic Punch lands on the first go, and Berserker gets absolutely melted in one shot there. Man, that was good. I guess it's the 100 base power and the 50% accuracy. It's very, very shaky, right? Next Pokemon is Palkia. So I'm like, okay, Palkia. I definitely can take this out, right? But I thought, actually, this is a prime opportunity. Let's say it does outspeed me, right? This is still a prime opportunity to go for the Dynamax here and set the electric terrain up. Then I can just go for all my elemental punches, right? This is probably one of the more standardy sort of sets on my team. That's why I added in Dynamic Punch Roll for a bit of PIMPNITE flavor in there, right? Expert Belt, I'd say Expert Belt is the item made for Electabuzz. Like, Electabuzz and Expert Belt were made for each other, right? It has so great coverage, and it's not I wouldn't say it's a super duper hard hitter, but it's got great coverage. So that's the thing why you put it instead of Life Orb, right? I like it over Life Orb. It's a good item. So anyway, that was the Palkia is going to go down, and Paragon Z is going to come in. Like, okay, Paragon Z. This will be able to outspeed me if it's got a Choice Scarf, but if it doesn't, it's not. So over for Max Knuckle here, coming off the Dynamic Punch, and Paragon Z is not going to like that one little bit, and it's going to be going down in one shot. Now, there's only one more Pokemon left, and this Pokemon doesn't have a lot of bulk to it either, so I was quite confident that I could easily take this out in one shot. Unless it had something like a Focus Sash or a gimmicky move like Endure, right? So outspeeding the Pikachu there, go for the Max Knuckle, and Pikachu is going to go down in one shot. And that, my friends, is the third and final battle. Hope you enjoyed these. These are awesome matches, and I'll catch you tomorrow with some more theme teams. Peace out.